This team isn't as common anymore at higher level arena. Not sure if it's still pretty common in lower ones, so maybe you'll get more usage out of this team than I do. But you still see it here and there. It's this Rinak plus DKS and then 2 bruiser / tank combo. We can honestly just quick battle this with Senya, Arby, Green Bruiser in the front, and any ice unit. The way this team works, it's just Rinak kills our ice unit, then DKS presses S3, which procs Senya S2, Senya does her AoE, does a bunch of damage, and then Arby dies, so the Cascade proc, then Arby revives, Alexa's Basket, S3, boom boom. You kill off Rinak plus DKS, then whatever the 2 bruisers are that are left are going to kill Arby because they're almost always at least one light element. And then from there, you're just going to slowly kill 2 remaining units with Senya and Alencia. There's a couple of things to consider, which is you do kind of want to make sure that Arby dies. There can be some situations where, depending on what you're fighting, really if there's an Emo Hwa Young here, you kind of want to really make sure that Arby dies here. And then another thing with Emo Hwa Young, which you'll see later once I actually do the run, is you want to make sure that Emo Hwa Young does not get to extinct Arby. Your ice unit, also, this is a level 40 Jenna that I'm using. You just want to make sure they don't die in a single hit so that Rinak S3 doesn't go into somebody else. And also, specifically for this team, it happens the most frequently where you can't actually kill both of them. Or, like, some bulkier Emilys are going to stay alive, rather, after the Senya Arby AoE combo. So you're going to want to make sure that both of them are hitting into Senya and not your other frontliner. This is one of the reasons I don't use Mort here, because Mort is S2 barrier, has some annoying interactions with everybody else. So let's go over everyone's stats. There's a couple of things for my builds that are a bit weird, which I'll talk about. Let's start off with Arby, I suppose. So Arby, I have him on triple torrent, which I'm not sure if this actually matters, him being sub 7k HP, because this means that Rinak S3 is supposed to just straight up one-shot him. This doesn't happen to me because my Senya is on protection set. I don't know if Arby immediately dying honestly does anything. That's just something you might want to consider. He should be on Destruction Torrent. I just ran out of gear, so I just gave him whatever I had left over. His build, though, it's just build him with a ton of damage, and then Alexa's Basket for the attack buff, with chance at greater attack buff, with his EE, of course. Pretty normal Arby stuff. And then we can take a look at Senya. For Senya, like I mentioned, she's on protection set, which is a bit weird because it does slightly reduce, or it increases Arby's effective HP. And Touch of Rekos is honestly probably not great here either, just because this makes it so that Arby gets healed a little bit when DKS uses S3. You want to make sure that he still dies to the Cascade proc, which mine does, so I'm on triple torrent, but if you're not on triple torrent, you might want to consider removing this protection set or Touch of Rekos. Though the protection set and Touch of Rekos are good for me and my other quick battle teams, so I am still going to keep on using these, but it's just normal Senya stuff, give her whatever. And I did mention that you do want young Senya to be tanking, so make sure her HP isn't, either her HP isn't too high or your HP on your frontline unit is high enough. So here we have Alencia, this amount of HP plus the HP from Prayer of Solitude does give her enough HP that she'll be higher HP percent than Senya after DKS goes, and then all of the hits will go into Senya. So we can also take a look at Mort. Mort has a couple of problems for me, which is just the way his S2 interacts with Senya. Mort's going to proc his S2 typically after DKS uses S3. This gives everybody a barrier, except everybody's going to have unbuffable except for Senya, because Senya is going to cleanse all of her debuffs after she gets hit. So Mort's going to end up at a lower HP percent than Senya, so all the hits are going to go into him. Into some teams, like the Arunka Emily one, that's going to lead to him getting targeted and dying. So that could be kind of annoying. That's just something to keep in mind. And then for our last slot, it's literally any ice unit. This is level 40 Jenna, flat attack imprint. This does give you a bit of... You need to give her a bit of HP and defense, so she doesn't get one shot by Rinak S2. And kind of just gave her some random leftover here. And you can quick battle this team if you want to manual it. You can just soulburn Arby S3. Just soulburn its S3. And then just turn it back on to auto. And you could also maybe soulburn Alencia S1 too. But that's it for everyone's stats. We can take a look at the run, and I'll turn on auto, and we can take a look at how it works. The Rinak kills off Jenna here. Senya procs her S2. So here, like I mentioned, if you want to manual, you can soul burn Arby S3 for a bit better consistency. Now Arby's gonna die to the Cascade proc even if he dodges. That might just be because I'm on triple torrent. Either way, this would kill him anyways. But you can see Senya's getting targeted here because she's at a lower HP %. Which that did a lot of damage, but it's still good for us that she got targeted. You might want to consider making Arby slightly higher HP, or just not on triple torrent, so that he doesn't instantly get one shot there, and he'll tank the Bunka S3 too. But that Emily was a little bit squishy. I don't know if she's supposed to die there. This is a bit higher damage than I'm used to seeing come out of the Bunka. So, kind of risky that my Senya would have died there, but his Emily was pretty squishy though, so we managed to survive anyways, and that's just the fight. You can have some issues sometimes if Emily and Arunka both survive, because some of the bulkier Emilys aren't going to die to the Arby plus Senya AoEs, especially if Arby doesn't proc Gab, and then you have both of them hitting into your Senya, so that's just a couple of things you might want to consider. And here we have another one. We can just quick battle this. Or there's one more here. We can take a look at this one too. When you're fighting into stuff like this, you could consider using Elvira. This is more relevant versus Senya, which you'll see later, but Elvira does block the Fighting Spirit from Yufine. We can also just use Mort here, because there's nothing that's really like going to be a big issue with in terms of the targeting and stuff, so we can just Mort here. Who this team will be fighting against has ML Hwayoung and FCC. The main thing against this team is just, when you're fighting ML Hwayoung, you want to not use Mort in this front slot. It's because when Rinak presses S2 and S3, Mort can counter her, which is going to do more than 40% of her HP. It's going to proc Hwayoung S2, Hwayoung S2 is going to hit into Arby. Your Arby is going to get extincted, so that is why we use Alencia here, and we can just quick battle this. This team has young Senya on it, so we can just put in Elvira to remove all of her fighting spirit. This way our Senya doesn't proc their Senya, and lead to some bad things happening. This team also, we have ML Hwayoung on the other side, so we can't use Mort here. So we'll be using Alencia instead. It's just a thing where Mort countering Rinak is going to proc Hwayoung S2, which is going to hit Arby. I already explained all this. We're just going to quick battle it. So that's it for the video. This team works decently. I've pretty much been quick battling Rinak DKS with this for quite a while now. It's the first time I've ever seen Rinak, or not Rinak, what's her name, young Senya, actually get that low against the Emily Bunka version of that defense. Soul burning Arby S3 would probably make it a lot more consistent, just because you would much more consistently be able to kill off Emily with the Alencia S3 plus Alencia S1 soul burn. It's a pretty fast manual, honestly, just because of how few turns you actually have to take, and especially with Alencia S1 soul burn, getting the guaranteed death break would be really nice, but I'm too lazy to manual things, even if they're that fast. I pretty much only quick battle or cleave at this point. With how fast that team is, it might as well be a cleave though, so if you're finding yourself wanting a bit more consistency against that version of the defense, I would definitely just manual it and use the Tag of Hells properly. There's also Robin coming out. I'm pretty sure this works fine against Rinak Robin if anybody bothers to put that on defense. Against a Rinak DKS plus Robin, I have no idea. I'm pretty sure that Arby is just going to one-shot all three of them. Or he's at least going to one-shot Robin. so Robin won't get the S3. But we will see how it goes. Anyways, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time.